Most of the times we wonder why some things are placed where they are on different items, and our negligence makes us assume that. Sometimes we don't even notice them. This ignorance may lead us to experience tragedies which we could have prevented just by paying a little more attention. So here is an informative piece that will educate you on 10 things that you didn't know what they were, yet you use them every day. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. And with this being said, let's begin. And number 10, the loop on the back of your shirt. Now you will realize that your shirt has a loop at the back, but do you really know why the loop is there? In the past, the loop was used to hang shirts on a hook. This was a way of improvising because there were no closets or hangers back then. The only problem with this was that the shirts got wrinkled by hanging using the loops on hooks, and made them look not presentable due to the creases on them when hung for long periods of time. This was commonly used by East Coast sailors who had a habit of hanging shirts on ship hooks as they changed. They were then commonly referred to as locker loops. Now, years ago in American colleges, the loop was used for romantic reasons. When a guy started dating a girl, they would often remove the loop at the back of their shirt to show that they are taken. The girl would reciprocate this gesture by wearing a scarf as a symbol of her change in status. Over the years, men have found other purposes of this loop found at the back of the shirt, such as helping them fasten their tie easily. You can use the loop to act as an anchor while you fasten your tie. This makes it easier for you as you do not need a second hand to help you tie your tie. Number 9, the cylinder on your laptop's power cable. Now this is one of the parts that you probably have no clue as to what it is for. While you are busy working on your laptop, this is one part that you easily assume. Many people think that this cylinder on your power cable is there just for decoration. The cylinder is actually called a ferret bead or a ferret choke. Cables sometimes act as antennas, broadcasting electrical noise unintentionally. The cylinder is made up of magnetic material with the wire wound through it. Its purpose is to ensure that the wire does not transform into a radio. This is because any long wire has the potential to act as an antenna. The ferret bead acts as an inductor that is used to create a low-pass filter on the wire. By doing this, they are able to regulate any high-frequency noise on the wire, preventing it from transmitting or receiving radio waves that may interfere with nearby devices. It also ensures that when nearby devices produce radio signals, they do not vary the electrical current in the wire. Number 8. The tiny hole in the window of a plane. Now it is easy to overlook something as minute as a tiny hole in the window of a plane. Looking at it would give you the impression that it must have been broken. Well, that's not true, because that tiny hole in the window serves as a life-saving purpose. This tiny hole is referred to as a bleed hole. The cabin of an airplane has to be pressurized to keep one from passing out when an airplane takes off. Airplane windows are made of 2 panes of acrylic material made from glass and plastic. In order to balance the pressure between the plane's cabin and the outside, the tiny hole is there. Without that hole in the window, the inner piece of the glass would shatter because of the high pressure. It therefore balances pressure between the 2 panes, thus maintaining safety of the cabin. This bleed hole is also what makes you see through the window panes. Due to the temperature difference between the inside and the outside of the cabin, the window panes could experience fogging up. Thanks to this tiny hole, you can easily get a clear view of the beautiful clouds outside. Number 7. The blue part of the eraser. Have you ever used the blue part of an eraser to remove ink but just ended up ripping the paper? Well, it's a consequence of our misconception of the purpose of the blue part of an eraser. We are raised to believe that the blue part is for ink marks while the pink part is for pencil marks. Well, it does not actually work that way. You will notice that the blue part of an eraser is harder than the pink part. This makes sense to use the blue part of an eraser to erase marks on heavy paper, while the pink part works best for light paper. You will realize that after erasing pencil marks using the pink part, some marks may still remain behind. Well, the blue part can also be used to remove marks that remain after erasing with the pink part, so as to give the work a neat finish. This was the original intention of the manufacturers when they divided the eraser into 2 parts. Since people did not quite comprehend its importance, they later decided to produce this part to be used to remove ink marks, thus changing the original purpose. Number 6. the extra eyelets on sneakers. Now these holes on your sneakers may look good on them, but it does not mean that they were placed there just for decoration. Understanding the importance of these eyelets will help you when running or during your favorite sport. You will note that these extra eyelets are strategically placed above the shoelaces. They are designed here to fix your shoes in place so that they do not rub against your ankle when you are carrying out a vigorous activity. They also enhance stability in your ankles. Now it may come as a shock to you that those extra eyelets can actually prevent you from getting blisters and stop your foot from sliding while you're running. How do you use the eyelets? Well, first you need to lace up your shoes as you have always done. Then create loops on each side of your shoe. Use these loops to execute the lock. Do this by crossing the laces and inserting them into the loop on the other side. Eventually, pull down on both laces and get the perfect lock. Number 5. The hole between a spaghetti spoon. Now, cooking spaghetti is an easy process, especially when you have the spaghetti spoon. It makes it easy for you to stir. People, however, assume that this hole at the bottom of the spaghetti spoon is for draining water because of its position. Now, this is not true because there are many ways you can use to drain excess water while cooking spaghetti. For instance, by placing your lid above the pan and then overturning the pan for excess water to drain, or by just using a strainer. Now, getting perfect portions of spaghetti, though, that is a skill that is not easy to master. The hole in a spaghetti spoon was therefore designed for measurement. The hole is the right size to measure good portions of your spaghetti. People have been eating different capacities, and this spoon helps serve spaghetti in according to the amount that fits in the spoon, which is considered one serving. This will prevent you from wasting too much of the food. Number 4. The little pocket between the big pocket in your jeans, aka the 5th pocket. The history of this little pocket between the big pocket runs back all the way to Levi jeans of 1873. During this time, the trend was to place pocket watches inside the small pocket between the big pockets. It looked fashionable, and most cowboys used this pocket to keep their pocket watches from getting broken. It was therefore used to hold the watch. Now, over the years, this pocket has been called a frontier pocket, a coin pocket, a match pocket, a 5th pocket, and pocket watches are not as popular anymore. They have been replaced with mobile phones and wall clocks that are placed at our homes. This made the little pocket between the big pocket lose its initial purpose. It is now seen as just decoration on our jeans. Since it is tighter than the big pocket, you could also place some small items there that would fit more secure. Number 3. The extra scrap of material that comes with new clothes. So how would you feel? You buy a new shirt, you get home, you wash it for the first time, it fades, it shrinks, whatever. You realize that every time you purchase a new piece of cloth, there is always some small pieces of material that are placed inside the packaging. Well, the scraps of material often come with an extra button, giving you the impression that they are to be useful patch clothing in case it tears, or to just replace the button. But that is not actually the main purpose of placing an extra scrap of material. They are placed there so that you can wash it first. By washing the scrap first, you will be able to tell what kind of clothing you have bought. It will answer the question like, does my clothing fade when I wash it? Does it shrink easily? By washing it first, you will be able to figure out how the material behaves with your laundry. Therefore, with this experiment, it ensures that you will never ruin your clothing because you actually have first-hand experience. Number 2. The hole at the top of the lid of your pen. Now, while using your pen, you probably never thought much about the hole at the top of the lid. It might come as a surprise to find out that the hole is not there just by chance, but actually plays an important role. This hole allows you to close your pen properly by regulating air pressure, and it stops the ink from drying out. Apart from all that, that hole actually might save your life. Most of us have a habit of chewing on our pen lids. I know I do. Did you know that the hole in the top of the lid could reduce the risk of you choking in case you accidentally swallowed the lid? It allows air to get into the lungs if lodged in the windpipe. A case on 17th of January in 2007 in Durham's University Hospital was reported where Ben Sterland, a 13-year-old boy, died from choking after he swallowed a pen lid. By placing this hole in the top of the pen, Bic caps also comply with international safety standards that try to reduce the risk of children inhaling pen caps. Number 1. the rivets on the pockets of your jeans. Now those tiny bits of metal on our jeans often go unnoticed, but did you know that without that snap there, your jeans would just be full of holes? Look at where the rivets are often found on your jeans and note how strong these areas are. The history of rivets runs back to the early 1870s when wearing denim was the fashion trend. Laborers who wore denim experienced the challenge of their materials tearing up easily since the work was so very straining. They therefore looked for a solution that would prevent their denim from getting destroyed easily. This is what made tailors discover that they can place small metal along the areas of the denim that strain the most, such as the corners of the pockets. Placing the rivets on this corner held the fabric together, therefore preventing them from getting torn easily. This continued over the years and later led to the creation of jeans. The riveted trousers became a success, and over the years the name changes to what we refer to today as jeans. And today the rivets double as stylistic additions. Some jeans would just look weird without those rivets. Attention Daily Top Teners! We have breaking news, a new channel alert. The most entertaining channel on YouTube is finally here, and they are giving away free iPhone 10s. All you have to do is subscribe to come along to win. It's full of super exciting cool facts, riddles, life hacks, and mysteries to keep you entertained. But don't take my word for it. Click on the screen now to see the latest video, or click the round yellow sun looking button and subscribe now. Link is also in the description. See you all there.